What's going on YouTube? My name is Zylo, and today I got the best badge setup for every single archetype and pie chart in NBA 2K20. So I do expect this video to be a little bit on the longer side of things. So if you're looking for anything in specific, whether it be a specific build such as, let's say a playmaking glass cleaner, that information will be down in the description. I have all the timestamps for every single archetype, so you don't have to be looking through the video looking for whatever you need. Alright, so the first build we're going to be looking at today is going to be the pure finisher. Although this build does get 10 shooting badges, this is the type of build that you don't really want to just be spotting up or picking and popping. Instead, you kind of want to play like a post scorer with this type of build, especially due to the fact that you do have a relatively high post fade. So we're going to really convert these badges into making him more of a post scoring type of player. So I'm going to try to speed this video really fast just to give you a 1 to 2 sentence explanation for each badge. So for the first badge, it's quick draw. If you play anything or know anything about 2K20, you know that this badge is a must for literally every single build in the game that can shoot. So obviously go quick draw. Next, deep fades. Because you have a relatively high post fade, you want to take advantage of that, and this build, because you kind of have to play like a post scorer, is going to do exactly just that. I really like Green Machine for this build specifically because if you are in an inside center build, that does mean that you do have a relatively high post hook too. And whenever you do a post hook and you green the shot, that's going to count towards Green Machine. That's going to give you that boost. So for whenever you do a post fade, and it's really just going to help you just, really score a lot better in the paint. And to round out this build, it's going to be corner specialist on silver. I really like corner specialist mainly due to the fact that it will help you do those post fades into the corner and really help you score at a high efficiency rate. Alright, the next build we're going to be looking at is going to be the finishing and shooting. And this build is really going to be fun to play with, especially due to the fact that we do have 21 shooting badges. So not only are we going to be able to kind of convert this build into a post scorer type of player, we're also going to be able to be a stretch and popper with this build. So starting out with the badge setup for this pie chart, obviously once again we're going to go with gold quick draw, mainly due to the fact just to help you get that shot off really fast. Next, range extender on Hall of Fame. You are a stretch, so you do want to be able to shoot from further distance and also take that 1 to 2 steps back behind the 3-point line to get your shot off. I really like Green Machine with this build, mainly due to the fact that whether you are doing a post hook, post fade, shooting a midi, shooting a 3-pointer, you are always activating and kind of receiving those bonuses from Green Machine, especially if you are hitting shots consistently and greening them. While on the topic of post scoring and post fading, fades, once again, it's a crucial badge that you're going to need because you do have a relatively high post fade, so you want to be able to take advantage of those attribute points and just be a kind of 3-level scorer all around the court. And I really like this badge that in combination with catch and shoot, especially when you are the popper of the team and the opposing point guard or center is going to try to close out on you. So having these boosts and kind of these bonuses to your shooting is really going to help you. The next badge I'm going to recommend is going to be Hot Hunter on gold. This badge is really going to help you, especially if you are an effective and a consistent scorer. So having those extra bonuses and boosts from the hot zone is going to be huge for you and help you green a lot more shots. So the next build we're going to be looking at, it's going to be the playmaking and slashing. And this build is going to be really similar to the first build we looked at, which was the pure finisher, mainly due to the fact that although your shooting such as the mid-range and 3-pointer isn't really that high, your post fade is surprisingly high and you really want to take advantage of that post scoring ability in your build. So starting off with this badge setup, it's going to be really similar to the first build like I said before. So the first badge we're going to be looking at is going to be quick draw on gold. Obviously a badge you need to have on gold, especially if you want to get your shots off really fast and not get contested on every single shot you take. Next badge we're going to be looking at is going to be deep fades. Again, because you do have an 80 plus post fade in this build, you really want to take advantage of that, and the only way you can do that is by putting on gold deep fades. The next badge we're going to be looking at is going to be Green Machine on silver. I like this badge a lot, like I said before, mainly due to the fact that when you combine post hook with post fading, you are going to get a significant boost from Green Machine, especially if you are able to green post hooks consistently and efficiently. That in turn is going to help your scoring even more, especially when you are doing deep fades, because those bonuses from Green Machine carry over to when you are post fading. So the next badge we're going to recommend, it's going to be Deadeye on silver with corner specialist on silver. This is going to be a really deadly combination, especially when you are fading into the corner and the center is trying to play good defense on you. Even if he does get a good contest on you, you want to be able to shoot over him and still hit the shot effectively because of Deadeye. The last badge we're going to be looking at, it's going to be range extender on bronze. And this is really going to help your post scoring and post fading, especially when you are fading from the free throw line. So the next build we're going to be looking at, it's going to be the finishing and defending, aka the paint beast. Now, because we only do have 7 shooting badges, it's going to be really important for us to be able to budget these badge points effectively and allocate them where they need to be. Alright, so once again, the first badge we're going to be automatically putting on is going to be gold quick draw. Quick draw is essential for literally every single build in this game except for maybe one. But other than that build, we're going to need to have this on gold in order to get the shot off fast and effectively. Again, the next badge we're going to be using is going to be defade, but on silver this time. Because the highest attribute in shooting is a 75 for post fade, you're going to really want to take advantage of that attribute. And defade, honestly, it's really a good badge, especially if you are a good post scorer and know how to get to your shot whenever you want. Lastly, green machine on silver is going to be really important, especially when you are able to green post hooks consistently and efficiently. That bonus is going to activate towards post fading, helping you become an even better scorer. So the next build we're going to be looking at is going to be the stretch 5, aka the pure shooter. And because we have 30 badges to work with this build, it's going to be really important that we use every single badge effectively, and that means being a full-on post scorer / stretch 5. Because you do have 30 shooting badges, I feel like it is advantageous that you use up all 30 shooting badges effectively, and that means using quick draw on Hall of Fame. I would only recommend using it for this build specifically, mainly due to the fact that you aren't sacrificing any other badge in order to get quick draw on Hall of Fame. And also 30 shooting badges, I feel like that's overkill, especially for any type of center build. But because you do have 30 shooting badges, might as well use them all, right? The next badges I recommend is Hall of Fame Rage Extender and Hall of Fame Catch and Shoot. Now, these badges help you become a lot versatile depending on who your point guard is, mainly due to the fact that if they want you to stay corner, you can stay corner, but if they want you to be a pick and popper or go to the hash, you're able to do that effectively. Because your post fade is at a 90, I feel like now more than ever, it's most important for you to use defades on Hall of Fame, especially when your team needs a bucket and they can rely on you to go to the paint and score at ease. The next badge I would recommend is Hall of Fame Slippery Off Ball. Slippery Off Ball is one of those badges where you don't really need it, but if you can afford it, it's really good to have, and it really serves its purpose when you are trying to off-ball, decks, or just generally just trying to cut to the paint and get an wide open slip. The next badge I would recommend is Hall of Fame Hot Zone Hunter. Again, this is one of those badges that I feel like is always a necessity when you are a shooter, and having it in a Hall of Fame is really important because if you do have hot spots, this boost is going to go crazy for you, and you're going to be a lights out shooter from anywhere you have the hot zones. So the next badge I recommend, it's gotta be Green Machine. Now, Green Machine, for this build specifically, is not meant because you can post hook, because you can't really with a stretch 5, but this is mainly because you are the shooter of the team, so your designated job is to be a scorer effectively whenever they need you. So Green Machine is going to help you whenever you hit 2 greens consistently, and you know, you always want those bonuses to just stack up so that you could be a lights out shooter. The last badge I would recommend, it's gotta be Go Deadeye, whether you're scoring in the post, the mid-range, or 3-pointer, to help reduce the contest of the opposing team. It's always good to have. Now, the next build we're going to be looking at, it's going to be the shooting / playmaking pie chart. And this build is going to be, again, really fun to look at because you do have 22 shooting badges, and that is a lot to play with. And that's the second most, right behind the pure stretch 5. Now, by this point in the video, I'm apologize if I do sound like a broken record with the badges that I will be listing out from here on out, mainly due to the fact that, you know, these center builds are given such high post fades that I feel like it's almost essential and, you know, worthy to take up some shooting badge spots for it. And this build is kind of similar in the fact that we are going to once again be a post scorer / stretch hybrid, and I feel like it's really important, mainly due to the fact that you want to be a threat anywhere on the court. Alright, so starting off with this badge setup, it's gotta be quick draw on gold. Like I said before, it's really important that you have this on gold just to get the shot off really quickly on anybody. So the next badges I'd recommend, it's gotta be Range Extender on Hall of Fame and Catch and Shoot on Hall of Fame. Because you are given pretty good shooting stats and mid-range stats for a center, I feel like it's almost important and almost essential for you to take advantage of those stats. And this way, you can by being a pick and popper, by being a hash shooter, or by being just a corner cone. The next badge I recommend for this setup, it's gotta be Hot Zone Hunter on Hall of Fame. When you are shooting within your hot zone, you're gonna get a crazy boost, especially when you do have this badge on a Hall of Fame. And I feel like the badge is in a way overpowered to the point where I feel like it's almost a crutch to always have this at least on gold or at the very most Hall of Fame. The next badge I recommend for this build has gotta be D-Phase. Because centers are given such high post fades, I feel like it's almost essential and a necessity to have post fades or defades, I should say, on at all times, whether it be silver, gold, or Hall of Fame. I emphasize this badge a lot because I want everybody that plays the game to be a complete player. If you are a shooter and a defender, I don't want you just to be able to shoot the 3-point line and defend in the paint. I want you to be able to score in the paint, go into the post, or just catch alleys too. You know, I want everybody to play differently, but also, you know, have a complete game and not just be a liability in one spot of the court. The last badge I'm gonna recommend, it's gotta be Deadeye on gold. Whether you are scoring in the post from the post fades, you are shooting a mid-range, or you're shooting a 3-pointer, this is always gonna help you reduce the contest of a late closeout. Next, we're on to the shooting and defending pie chart, aka the sharp rim, aka my favorite build in NBA 2K20. Although this build only gets 17 shooting badges, I still feel like you can make the most out of it because you can score in the post, you can score in the mid-range, and you can score in the 3-point line. The way I have the badge setup for this build specifically is almost identical to the one of the other builds that we've already seen today. So obviously, gold quick draw, I don't need any more explaining or any to tell you that how important this badge is. So we're just gonna move on. So the next badge I would recommend, it's gotta be range extender on Hall of Fame. The way I like to play with this build specifically, I like to be a pick and popper, always. So I'm never sitting corner, I'm never sitting hash, but whenever I am popping, I'm always popping a foot or two behind the 3-point line, and range extender comes in clutch because it gives me that kind of insurance policy that I will make the shot no matter how deep I am. Because I'm already a consistent shooter in any game mode I play, whether it be Park, Pro Am, Rec, I feel like having this badge of Hall of Fame really benefits me specifically, mainly due to the fact that because I am getting a bonus and I'm always shooting lights out, you know, I'm always consistently having my hot zones around the court, so it's kind of like a win-win for me. I'm able to have the boost from the badge, and also the badge is able to help me keep my hot zones around the court. The next badge I would recommend, it's gotta be Hall of Fame catch and shoot. Again, because I am a popper always with this build, I feel like it's almost important for me to have it on Hall of Fame. And also, you know, why wouldn't I have it on Hall of Fame if I'm given the chance to? The last two badges I'd recommend, it's gotta be Deadeye on bronze and D-Fades on bronze. You know, whether I need to go to the post to get a bucket really quickly, it really helps me because I am able to shoot over anybody and reduce the contest of anybody that's trying to guard me. The next build we're going to be looking at, it's going to be the pure Playmaker. Although you only get 15 shooting badges in this build specifically, I feel like it's pretty good, mainly due to the fact that you are able to play various different game styles with this build, whether you want to be a cone in the corner, whether you want to be a pick and popper, or whether you want to go to the post and do a post fade. So, to start off with this build, I'd recommend Gold Quick Draw. Again, like I've said countless times, this is a badge that you need on Gold minimum if you are a center, because you are taller and your jump shots are generally slower than everybody else. The next badge I'd recommend, it's gotta be Catch and Shoot on Gold. Because this build, you know, it's kind of diverse in the play styles that you can play with. You can be a pick and popper, and I feel like Gold Catch and Shoot is really effective for this kind of build. The next badge I'd recommend, it's gotta be D-Fades on Gold. Now, although the D-Fades, or your post fades I should say, isn't the highest on this build, if you are open and if you are able to create your own shot, you will hit the shot effectively 9 times out of 10, almost always. To help you be a lights out shooter, once again, Hot Zone Hunter on Gold. This badge is a crutch, and I'm telling you that you need this if you want to be anywhere near of a consistent shooter. The bonus you get is huge, and I feel like this badge is almost a given, just like Quick Draw. The last two badges I would recommend for this build to round it out, it's gotta be Range Extender on Silver. Now, I would only put it on Silver mainly due to the fact that your 3 is only a mid-60 when you are maxed out, so I feel like it is the most beneficial to have it on Gold. Instead, I'm gonna put that last badge point on Deadeye on Bronze. That's gonna help you shoot whether you are in the mid-range, the post, the 3, anywhere on the court, just to help you reduce the contest of any opposing team. The second to last archetype we're going to be looking at in this video is going to be the playmaking and defending. Now, for this build specifically, you only get 10 shooting upgrades, and I feel like that's not a lot to work with, but considering that you have okay shooting stats, I feel like it is salvageable, and you know, kind of is worth it, you know, to have a complete all-around game still with this build. Once again, to start with the badge setup for this build, once again, it's gotta be Gold Quick Draw. I keep saying this, if you can shoot in this game, you need at least Gold Quick Draw, and a Silver just isn't good enough, mainly due to the fact that our jump shots are already way slower than guards. Because this build kind of doesn't allow you to be a spot-up shooter, you have to take into account that with this specific type of build, you really gotta be a pick and popper. And I feel like the badges that kind of will help you be a pick and popper, first off, it's gonna be Catch and Shoot on Gold. And I would say that you can't really take 3s with this build specifically, but you can walk into the deep mid-range and still take a wide open shot and hit it at a consistent rate. to help you hit those deep mid-range at a consistent rate, I would recommend Range Extender on Silver. This badge is going to help you not only with the threes, it's also going to help you with the deep middies. Now, I feel like if you are sucked out to the 3-point line and you are a step or two behind the 3-point line, that this badge is kind of really going to bail you out and really help you hit those long threes. But I wouldn't recommend or kind of rely on those type of shots. That's why we're going to have Silver D-fades. Now, because you can't, or you're not really a lights out shooter, you still can always rely to the post fade to help you bail you out and get your team a bucket. So this is it. This is the last build we're going to be looking at in this video, and I feel like this center build is pretty bad anywhere on the court when it comes to shooting. Because you can't even do a post fade, you can't hit a midi, you can't hit a 3-pointer. I feel like upgrading any shooting to get shooting badges for this build specifically, it's a mistake, and I feel like it's just not worth it. However, if you do manage to make this build and you do put on shooting badges for this build, you are only given 3 upgrades. Now, although you can't really do much with 3 upgrades, I do feel like there is a badge that is pretty important when it comes to this build specifically. So let's check it out. Now, when I was looking at this build, I was thinking about just putting, Gold Quick Draw, and I feel like I guess that's a viable option if you do want to go that route and you are confident in your shot, or if your teammates are rocking both Dimer and Hall of Fame floor general. But I feel like that would kind of be a waste of badge points, especially for this build specifically, because you aren't a threat, and if you are playing somebody like me, I'm gonna let you shoot. So instead of putting it on Quick Draw and kind of wasting those badges, I feel like an even better badge to put those 3 badge points on, it's gotta be Slippery Off Ball on Gold. Slippery Off Ball on Gold is really important because although the badge description is kind of misleading, saying that you need to do kind of off ball, it kind of just works that whenever you are just setting the screen or you're kind of rolling after the screen, it kind of gives you special animation, and it kind of just makes you just faster in general so that you are able to catch an alley-oop. But that's the end of the video, guys. If you guys learned anything new, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm always trying to bring out content. I'm always trying to help you guys become better 2K players. And I have a new video dropping, in a couple days for the best finishing badges for every single archetype build in NBA 2K20. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far into the video, or if you watched the entire video, I thank you so much. The support really means a lot. And that's pretty much it. Peace.